The Out of Bounds Show. Brought to you by Cannon Nissan and the Nissan Pathfinder, all new body style. Check it out at Cannon Nissan in Jackson. We are the Out of Bounds Show. ESPN 105.9 The Zone. We're live in the BankPlus Studio. Lunch today brought to you by the Amazing Ribs at Fleetway Market and the Market Cafe in Gluckstadt. Right now, you can watch the show on YouTube. Search Out of Bounds Sports. That is our YouTube channel. And we welcome in Mazi Moayed. Did I say that right, Coach?
That's correct. That's correct. Good morning, Jason. How you doing?
Well, this is Bo. I'm Jason's.
Oh, Bo, I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sorry.
it's all good. Jason's the one that booked this thing, and I'm the host of the show. And you coached Jared Goff in high school in San Francisco, which is really, really cool. And so what have your emotions been like as you've watched the Detroit Lions the last 2 weeks?
Man, it's reminiscent a little bit. Last time there was this much media attention on Jared back home was when he went to the Super Bowl with the Rams. Everyone was calling, everyone was coming by, and everything sort of turned euphoric and gotten attention like we've never gotten attention before, and it feels like it's all happening all over again. I think he's coming home to play against the Niners. His backyard where he grew up, area, and it's a local game against the Niners. So I think that's why it's getting so much local attention here. Back home. So it brings back that feeling. And ironically, he's one game away from the Super Bowl, so hopefully they can get it done.
Absolutely. We've been talking about Dan Campbell. He was a coach at the Saints under Sean Payton, I'm sure, as you know. And
yes.
So this is a Saints market, less than 3 hours away. We have season ticket holders here that go to, and they've had their summer camp here and so on. And then Campbell goes to Detroit, and he's a little bit different approach than most NFL guys. He's kind of got some college in him. You weren't sure if it was going to work, and man, has it worked as far as resonating with the players. So, did you, when you started at Marin Catholic, you started at the same time as Jared Goff was a varsity player? Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, what did you think about him day one?
He was, just a little bit background. I was assistant head coach for 2 seasons before that. So I had a chance as an assistant to see him his first year on the freshman level here. But day one, when I saw him then, it was like, wow, that guy can spin the ball a little bit. You just sort of want to keep watching him. Like, let me keep watching him throw, and after about 5 or 6 throws, you're like, okay, that wasn't on accident. He could throw the ball, so he just made it look, easy, effortless. He was very smooth, great athlete, really skinny guy. I think he, I can't remember how much he weighed as a freshman, but or as a sophomore, but it wasn't a lot because he graduated probably at around 170 pounds, 6'4", 170 or so when he left here. So yeah, but he was a phenomenal athlete, moved really well, and made it look easy when he was throwing the ball.
Wow. Mazi Moayed, high school coach for Jared Goff, joining us on the Out of Bounds Show at Marin Catholic in San Francisco. And now Goff is in another NFC championship game, but with a different team. And, of course, the Lions have been the lovable losers my whole life. And this is an unbelievable turnaround from Dan Campbell and Goff and so many others. Okay, so he progresses. How did it, by the time he's a senior, is he the dude? Is he the star? Is he not only just the star on your team? Is he one of the stars in the however y'all do it, region, district. Frame that up for me, Coach.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, recruiting wise, he wasn't super highly recruited for one reason or another. Um, I think he only had like 4 or 5 offers, and at the time, and as far as his, you know, his notoriety, his respect, he was invited to Elite 11. That's the sort of the club with all the top quarterbacks in the country. He did really well in that. I think he finished like top 2 or 3 guys in that thing, and got some notoriety there. And then by the time he finished his senior season here, he held all the records here at the school, and he was Bay Area Metro Player of the Year. So he got his well-deserved recognition. But wasn't like a quarterback that had 20 offers coming out of high school.
Why do you think that is, Coach? Elite 11's big. He's 6'4". He's got a good frame. You mentioned from the jump, you could see the talent. He obviously was a great player for you and your school. Why do you think he didn't have 20 to 30 plus offers?
That's a great question. I think part of it is, there hadn't been a ton of guys in our area that had come out. It wasn't one of the hot spots for, let's get a bunch of guys from this area. I think part of it was that. And usually when that's the case, there's a little bit less attention. His frame was a little slight. He was really skinny. Some guys really don't care about that too much because they say, hey, we'll put some weight on him. That could have been a knock on him. But outside those 2 things, I really can't think of anything else. Because he was phenomenal talent, great player, and after he was committed to Cal, I would get calls fairly frequently, just people saying, hey, is any chance he wants to flip, or decommit and commit with us, and I believe, some good recognition for him is towards the end of our football season, Jeff Tedford, who was the head coach at Cal at the time, he was fired, and so Cal had no head coach, and Jared was committed there. So we get a call from Doug Nussmeier at the time, who's at Alabama under Coach Saban, and I think whoever they were recruiting at the time, I think a kid from Utah or something, wasn't having a great year, and so they were seeking other guys, and they asked if Jared was interested during the decommit to decommit from Cal when they had no coach, and if he wanted to be a guy at Alabama. A lot of people don't know that because it's one of those conversations that, like, hey, if he's interested, we'll go public with it. If he's not, we got to move on to the next guy here. So I told Jared, and he took a week to think about it and ended up sticking it out at Cal, and which was a big decision for him. But it ended up being the right decision, and I think part of it was he had a legacy at Cal. He grew up going to Cal games. Both parents went to Cal, and his uncle went to Cal and all that kind of stuff. So he sort of took a chance and stuck it out with Cal, and then they hired Sonny Dykes, and the rest was history.
Okay. We're visiting with Coach Maz. He was Jared Goff's high school coach. Great story here in San Francisco at Marin Catholic. He's still the head coach there. He joins us on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. I think Goff's been doubted for a long time. I think people still doubt him, and yet he's been in the Super Bowl, second NFC championship. And the Lions, this is rarefied air where he's going here. It's a great story, and they'll take on San Francisco this weekend, as Coach Maz was talking about, basically back in his hometown, which is incredible that this is lined up. So was there a moment, Coach, when you had to really get on Jared Goff because of something he did in practice or a game while he was your starter?
I mean, your typical coach-player relationships. You know, you're sort of, you know, I mean, he was highly motivated, very, you know, on point, locked in day to day. You know, you didn't have to worry about him too much, and you know, as far as his preparation went, and, you know how hard he worked. 'Cause he was a worker, you know, and you know, very very focused guy. Um, you know, so nothing out of the norm there. Getting on him, just you know, we try to put a little extra pressure on him, just on the day to day, week to week, because he was so talented. You're just like, man, we need to challenge this guy and keep him on his toes. So we would just, you know, work on, you know what I mean, keeping him on his toes a little bit more, you know,
So
keeping him slightly
there were
uncomfortable.
Friday nights where he wasn't challenged, right? I mean, he just kind of went out there and would drop X amount of yards and 3 or 4 TDs. Is that sometimes?
Yeah, yes, yes.
Okay. Wow. Did he play? Do you remember Coach Maz? We're visiting with Coach Maz, Jared Goff's high school coach out of San Francisco. Did he play any other sports while he was going through high school?
Yeah, Jared was a three-sport athlete. He played football, basketball, baseball. Um, you know, he was very talented in all three sports. I believe he was second baseman and shortstop in baseball. He was a terrific athlete. You know, I think that's one of the areas that's really overlooked about him is you know, his athleticism. You know, you see him escape sometimes and create with his feet. You know, he moves pretty well. But father was a pro baseball player, former pro. So he's you know, um, you know what I mean, that's one of the reasons he played baseball. But he was very good at all three sports, and as he went through high school, decided to narrow down to football his final 2 years and just focus on football alone.
Okay. What a story. How have y'all talked or text recently?
Yeah, yes, yes. Um, you know, you know, usually, you know, being a coach, you know how busy you are during the season, and you know, how hard it is to focus. So I can't imagine how hard it is for an NFL quarterback. So, you know, not every single week, but big game weeks or certain weeks, I'll drop him a text or a line, and he'll respond back, you know, here and there, either before or after games. So nothing big, you know, but we stay in touch. When he comes back, you know, he visits. You know, we have camps out here. I'll ask him to drop in, talk to the youth. You know, he'll come and talk to the young guys. We won the state championship this year at our school. He sent a nice video message to the guys leading up to the state championship week, and it was really touching. It was really nice, and he recollected when he was going to play in the state championship his senior year, and his experience, and just sort of let them know what was to come and to enjoy it, and you know, sort of how he walked in their footsteps way before. So it was a pretty neat deal.
That is cool. He cut a video for your team and your program. I think that's a credit to you, Coach Maz, when y'all were going into the state championship game. That's pretty awesome. We're visiting with Coach Mazi Moayed, and he was Jared Goff's high school football coach. He joins us on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. He still goes back, which I think is super cool. So, and by the way, congratulations on winning the state title this year.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
How many playoff games did you have to go through, Coach, to get to the championship game?
So when he played, you played a total of 16 games to play in the state championship game. You know, when he was here, we ended up making it that game. We were 14-2 his senior year, Now you only need to play 15, so it's one less now. Um, you know, but yeah, his senior year we went there and we lost by 4. You know, it was a great game, and you know, but 16 games.
Wow.
You know, so 6 postseason games is what you had to have to make it that far.
Okay. And you, so y'all go to the state championship. Y'all obviously had a fantastic team his senior year, and you go 14-2. This year you win it. Was that your first state championship?
No, it was this year was our second.
Okay. Nice. So where did you grow up in the Bay Area?
Yes, yeah.
All right. And have you always had the football bug, and did you know that you were going to coach, or did you think you were going to do something else?
No, I honestly I never thought about coaching growing up. I played football just because my friends, all my best friends played, and I wanted to be around my buddies. You know, so that's why I played. I got into coaching just through helping a friend. You know, one of my good friends who's studying to be a pilot. His younger brother wanted to play football, and you know, so I decided to. He asked me to train him and his friend, so I did, and they went on to do pretty good, do pretty well, in high school. And the high school coach at the time asked who they worked with, and they referred me, and the high school coach got in contact with me, and you know, saw my interest in coaching, and
Wow.
brought me in at that time.
Have you really enjoyed it in the path
I
and the
love
career?
it. Yeah, absolutely. I love it. Enjoy it. It's it's a passion. It's one of my callings. I feel um, and there's no other sport like football, obviously. It's just yeah. So enjoyed every moment.
That is so cool. All right, Coach Mazi Moayed, head football coach for Marion Catholic. They just won the state championship this year, and he coached Jared Goff, and they went to the state championship game that year, going 14-2. He joins us on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line, one of his former players, back in the NFC Championship game with the Detroit Lions. And Jason and I, just so you'll know, Coach Maz, Jason and I we're rooting for the Lions. So when I was growing up, Coach, Barry Sanders was at the Lions, and I loved Barry Sanders.
Wow.
And
the man.
But they never could win, So
Yeah.
it was like the Saints when I was growing up. They were the lovable losers, and now it's just amazing what. I know you're impressed as a coach who's had to build a team every year, and you've won 2 state championships and been to more state championship games. You've got to be impressed with Dan Campbell and the team building and the culture building that's happened, because it's hard to flip a losing program or a franchise, right?
Yeah, they say it's the hardest thing to do. It's one of the hardest things to do, and starts with their administration and Dan Campbell on the field. Shoot, I mean, his the attitude and energy he's injected that team with has just been amazing, and his rapport with the players, you could see it, you could feel it, you hear about it. That's been awesome too to sort of watch. But they're a lot of fun to watch, and they're on fire right now. A lot of momentum. So hopefully that momentum carries through this game.
I'm with you. Do you watch every now and then? I know you're busy. Do you watch some of Dan Campbell's post game? And I mean, he got emotional. I don't know if you saw this, Coach Maz, but he got emotional last weekend when they beat Tampa Bay.
Yes. I don't watch all the post game stuff. Every now and then I do, because he's fun to listen to. He's one of the real guys,
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right. So what time will that be for you? 5:30 our time, 3:30 your time. on Sunday afternoon. We're visiting with Coach Maz, Jared Goff's high school coach, and they still have a relationship, and Jared's still kind enough to give back to the program. Sent them a video the week of the state championship game in which they won this year, which is super cool. All right, describe your emotions. 5-10 minutes and going into the game Sunday afternoon for Coach Maz.
Shoot, you know, I'm just excited to be there and watch them. You know, you know, have this opportunity and make the most out of it. You know, and just can't wait to be there and watch them play.
Are you
really?
Are you going or watching it on TV?
Oh, I'm going to the game.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah.
Okay. That's how far is Santa Clara? I think I got that right. I think you're more urban school. I'm not sure. How far is San Francisco 49ers Park from you, Coach?
We're located probably about 20 minutes north of San Francisco. So Santa Clara is about, you know, roughly an hour away, maybe a little more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you been to a 49ers game since they built the new stadium?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Is it awesome?
Yeah, a really nice stadium, nice venue. Yeah, it's a beautiful spot.
Who are you going with?
A bunch of friends, some coaches, some family.
Okay.
You know, so yeah, mixed bag. There's gonna be a lot of Jared Goff supporters there.
Heck yeah. Are you wearing Lions gear, or are you just gonna be kind of neutral?
I'm obviously I'm pulling for the Lions. Yeah, so I'll have something. I'll have some kind of Lions swag on. So
love it.
Yeah.
That is cool. All right. Well, hey, thank you so much, Coach Maz, for taking some time today.
Yeah,
and,
my pleasure.
Congratulations on your success. State champion twice, played in it again with Goff, and you know, keep helping and developing young people. That's awesome. We appreciate your time today.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks, Coach Maz. Marin Catholic out of San Francisco. He coached Jared Goff. They went 14-2. Goff's senior year, played in the state championship game and lost by 4. Since then, he's won 2 state championships. That was awesome. Good job there, Jason. Level-headed, cerebral, even kill.
Yeah.
You know, probably one hell of a football coach.
For real, I can't imagine what the pre-gaming like with all his friends and family who are going to the game.
This is magical. This is why we love sports. He's going with his buddies and family to cheer on a former player, and he's going to have on some line swag. I love it. Hey, thanks for listening to the show today. Tom Luganbill told a great story earlier in the show about meeting Joe Montana. And if you missed that, you'll want to go to Spotify or Apple Podcasts and search Out of Bounds with Bo Bounds. Be careful out there with the rain, and we'll see you tomorrow.